What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Switch Bit and another episode of Hunting Them Games. Today it's all brand new sealed games that I got from Best Buy. So kick back, relax, and enjoy another episode.
Tell me what you will. I get $100 game with the $5 bill. $100 game with the $5 bill. $100 game with the $5 bill. $5 bill, and I'm gonna get changed. And I'll be talking about this deal on Hunting Them Games.
Hunting games is hard. It's hard right now. Texas is getting hit hard with COVID, so we got to be careful about what we're doing. So I've been doing a lot of online stuff lately. Most of my games came from online, but I got a couple games that I found in store, all Best Buy, which is kind of crazy. But Best Buy was having a really good sale recently. It was $9.99. I think it was called the Days of Play sale, something like that. But they had a lot of games that were basically half off, and essentially, $10 games all around. All of my games today were $10 except for one, and that game was Blood and Truth. Okay, Blood and Truth is a PlayStation VR game. It is made by the same folks who made the London Heist on the PlayStation VR Worlds, I guess, like demo or compilation disc. If you're familiar with PlayStation VR, you're probably familiar with that. It's essentially an action game. It's like you're starring in an action movie. You have the move controllers, and those are your guns, and you're going through all kinds of really cool action set pieces. I haven't played this one. It's been $40 up until this moment when I saw it for $20 on that pretty short sale they had on Best Buy. So click buy. All right. The next game that I got for PlayStation 4 is Littlebigplanet 3. And I stopped playing Littlebigplanet after the first one. I enjoyed the first one a lot. I really, really did. But for whatever reason, I didn't play the second one. I got this game because I thought that it might be a good game for me to play with my wife, especially if we're going to be doing anything with our podcast, The Gamer and the Noob, so where we're talking about platforming games, because essentially Littlebigplanet 3 is strictly a platforming game, even though it has all these other elements with the level creation, being able to play other people's levels, and the pretty cool, fun, crazy co-op stuff that they got going on. Littlebigplanet has always been a series that I really liked. From what I think I probably put a few hundred hours in that first one just through creating and trying to find all the stickers and stuff like that. But the actual physics of the platforming was floaty. It always just felt off. It kind of made sense because you were like this ragdoll like sack boy, but I don't know. I'm curious to see if they've tightened it up at all since then on the PlayStation 4. So super excited to get that for $10. And my other PlayStation 4 game, Ratchet and Clank. So this is essentially a reimagining of the first Ratchet and Clank game. And I played that briefly on PS2. I played a couple other ones on PlayStation 2 back in the day, never to completion. I played the PlayStation 3 Ratchet and Clank. I think it was called Future. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I don't know. I enjoy the series. In my mind, it's not a platformer. If you think Ratchet and Clank is a platformer, comment down below like why you think it's a platformer. Because to me, a platformer is a game where platforming is the main gameplay element. In order to pass a level, you have to create or make jumps successfully from one platform to another to make it to the end. And yes, there are enemies along the way, but you're jumping on them, you're doing things. Like, to me, that's what a platformer is. You look at Mario, you look at Donkey Kong Country, those kind of games, and some other, there's a lot of platformers out there. To me, Ratchet and Clank has always been like a third-person action game with like shooting and combat mechanics and with some platforming in there. But platforming is not the main kind of like gameplay focus of the series, and that's just in my mind. Like I said, I would love to hear if you have a different opinion, mainly because me and my buddy Nice and Crispy were kind of debating about that. I said it's hardly a platformer. He kind of laughed at me and said like that's a platforming game, but in my mind, a game like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, like it's like a hardcore platformer. In my mind, that's what a platformer is. But I'm definitely open to, if you guys want to try to change my mind on that, change my mind. Insert meme down here, change my mind. All right, next up we have some Xbox One games. Forza 7. I played Forza 2 back in the day quite a bit, And Forza 2 was a game that I really enjoyed, mainly because you could, was it Forza 2 or Forza 3? Whatever the Xbox 360, the first one on Xbox 360. I played the crap out of that, mainly customizing the cars and doing paint jobs. I had Wii paint jobs because that the Wii would like to play. Ad campaign was out at the time, and I would mainly just play the NASCAR track and just like with like 10 people and just kind of hang out with people as we were like showing off our new cars. I never really got into the realistic driving simulation type games. I'm more of a arcade racer guy, like San Francisco Rush and Cruisin' and most recently Asphalt 9. Those are my kind of games, like the ones that are a little more silly, not too realistic with their physics and stuff. So Forza, it may stay sealed forever in my collection, but we'll see. Another Xbox One game that I got was Halo Wars 2. And I'm not too big on strategy games, but I do like Halo. And if I'm going to play a strategy game, it's going to be a Halo strategy game. And I never really played Halo Wars 1 on the 360. So when I saw this for $10, I was actually pretty excited about it. So I'm definitely going to give this a try because I'm kind of in love with the Halo like franchise and the Halo lore and all the different vehicles and items and weapons, all that kind of stuff. So seeing it in a game like this is going to make it all that much more enjoyable. $9.99, great deal. Add it to my collection. And my third and final Xbox One game is Sea of Thieves. This is the anniversary edition. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the anniversary edition has. Oh well, doesn't really matter, right? Because this is a game that's available on Xbox Game Pass for everybody to play, essentially free of charge or included, however you want to look at it. But games that I really enjoy, I want to have a physical version of it, just in case it ever does come off Xbox Game Pass. I'll have the option to play it there. If you haven't played Sea of Thieves and you do have an Xbox One, give it a try. It's so cool. It's so much better than it was when it first came out. And there's a lot of reviews online of just when it first came out. And that's not really how you need to review MMOs, in my opinion, or what essentially is a constantly evolving and changing multiplayer online game. I think there needs to be like pretty frequent updates to reviews because that game is so much better now than it was when I played, and so much better than when it was when it first came out. Constant quality of life improvements, features, gameplay mechanics, and content coming out all the time. Super cool game. Try it out if you haven't. And my last two games are a little bit more near and dear to my heart. We have Super Mario Maker for the 3DS. This was $10.99. I was walking through Best Buy trying to pick up like a little gadget for my phone, and I saw this for $10.99, and I had to pick it up. It's a Nintendo Selects title, so essentially it's only half off. And I know that it has it's not feature complete when it comes to like the Wii U and Switch versions of the game, but I mean, you gotta have it. It's probably gonna stay sealed, and maybe someday it'll be worth something. I don't know. But the last game that I have is the one I'm most excited about. It's a game that I've wanted for the 3DS for some time, but I found it for $10.99, and that is Kirby. This is Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, a remake, a sequel, not really a sequel. A remake with extras, I guess is the best way to say it, of the Wii version. So the Kirby's Epic Yarn is a super easy game to play. It's a super easy game to beat. But there's just something so dang charming about it. And even though it's a super easy game, it's so much fun and there's so much character. And every level, it's like introducing new gameplay ideas. And as I get older, I realize how important that is to me. Because I play a game like Uncharted and Last of Us. There's a lot of the big, huge, like AAA games. And what you're doing in the beginning of the game, aside from some like action set pieces, is pretty much the exact same thing you're doing in the end of the game. Your waves of enemies come in, you shoot them, but now it takes more bullets to kill them. You're doing the same type of jumping, platforming type things. It's just, there's more of it, and the whole like actual gameplay loop is the same. It's just harder. But a game like Kirby's Epic Yarn and Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, you're really just like new fresh ideas are constantly being thrown at your face, and there's not too many games that do that in my opinion. The Mario games definitely do it, especially Mario Odyssey. I mean, you play that game, you're constantly being inundated with like new gameplay ideas and keeping it fresh. A game that I played today that I love is Astrobot for the PlayStation 4. That does it too. Every level you are guaranteed to get new fresh gameplay ideas. And that's what this game really does very well, and that's why I like it so much. It's charming, it's beautiful. $10.99 is a really good deal for this game, and I'm going to open it up as soon as this is over, and I'm going to play it. I am not keeping it sealed, but yeah, this was definitely the happiest pickup of today's episode of Hunting Them Games, for sure. Have you got any games recently? Have you played any games that I picked up, or would you like to play them? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things, hit the ding dong for notifications, and until next time, happy hunting, everybody.